Hello, everyone. This is another show of When Art Becomes Life, and I'm here with Robert. Thank you, Robert, for coming here with
Hey
me.
guys.
And today's subject is relationships and friendships. So I'm gonna start with a Greek poem. I'm sorry, guys, if you don't understand. My Greek friends are gonna understand. So I'm gonna start with a Greek poem, and then we continue. Με φωτογραφίες ή και με λέξεις προσπαθούμε να εκφράσουμε τη δική μας αντίληψη πραγμάτων. Γι' αυτό θα σε πάρω σε ένα ταξίδι όπου η ομορφιά υπάρχει βαθιά μέσα σε όλα και όλους μέσω της αγάπης που έχουμε ο ένας για τον άλλο, επί καθημερινής βάσεως. Oops. One second. I forgot to mute my YouTube. Okay, I read again. Με φωτογραφίες ή και με λέξεις προσπαθούμε να εκφράσουμε τη δική μας αντίληψη πραγμάτων. Γι' αυτό θα σε πάρω σε ένα ταξίδι όπου η ομορφιά υπάρχει βαθιά μέσα σε όλα και όλους μέσω της αγάπης που έχουμε ο ένας για τον άλλον επί καθημερινής βάσεως. Είναι το Α και το Ω στα χείλη μας που τόσο νοσταλγούν να φιλήσουν και να δεθούν με τα χείλη αυτό που περιμένουμε τόσον καιρό να γνωρίσουμε και το βλέπουμε στα όνειρά μας κάθε νύχτα. Γι' αυτό σου λέω αυτή την ιστορία, για να τον δεις και εσύ στα όνειρά σου. Thank you guys for listening to this Greek poetry. I wrote this. So you know, okay, so I'm gonna just say that in Greek the word love has many meanings. So it's the word love, which means agapi, the word philia, which means friendship, and the word eros, which means erotas. It means you're in love with someone. So how do you guys distinguish? You know, because sometimes we say, oh, this person is my friend and this person is my friend, but are they really our friends? Like, do we have such a big relationship with them that they're our friends, or are they just people we know?
Do you want to go first, Eric?
Wow, that's interesting because in relationships, in my experience, I find like a lot of women they won't even say that you their man or you their husband or their fiance. They'll call you, oh, he's just my friend. And in some cases, that word "just" could be a separation between what's real and what could be a temporary relationship. So I'm thinking like when the term is used friend in relationship, it's like it may not be totally love. It could just be a situation where y'all could just be together. You know, because when you classify somebody as your friend and not your mate, you know, it can cause some problems too.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at it from two different perspectives. I mean, like if we're talking about relationships between a man and woman, and one party says somebody else outside of that group is just a friend, then I think the word "just" is probably it's an operative word.
Indication.
It's an indication of something because it's an operative word to downplay the argument, which would suggest that it's actually more important than it is made out to be because it's being downplayed. You wouldn't downplay something that didn't need to be downplayed. Now, the other bigger question, I'm not sure which one Yoda was asking, was how do we consider our friendships in terms of relationships? You know, it's like I look at it this way. All people that I meet, I have a relationship with them. Now that relationship is in varying degrees of, I wouldn't say importance because importance is a wrong term to use, but it's viability. It's like who is going to reciprocate the feelings that I'm giving out? Like, who's going to reciprocate that more than someone else? And I can't be the judge of that. The proof is in the pudding when things happen and take place or don't. And you know, I like to believe everyone's my friend, but I'll give you guys an example. Like, I went and lived in Regina for 3 months, and I met a lot of great people, and I considered them my friends. But they're only my friends as long as I was new and interesting and unique. Because now that I've left Regina, those people I call my friends, not one single person has contacted me to ask me how I'm doing. So, I mean, like, like if I was to disappear off YouTube tomorrow, how many people here would
I'm gonna look for
reach out?
you. Are gonna look for us, right? Exactly.
Yeah, you know, like,
And
so.
those, yeah, continue, Robert.
Yeah, yeah, and I was just saying that, like, I mean, I like to believe, you know, that it's weird because it can go in either direction. Because some of these people that I've met have shown me just by their actions that they're better friends than some people I've met in the real flesh and blood world, you know, and it's only because of their actions, and it's only because of that reciprocation. And I guess, you know, it's a really, really tricky question to ask, to be honest, because you can't
It's a
really
really,
define it.
yeah, that's why I asked it, because it's a really
Yeah.
tricky question.
Um,
And
I, I
and
think
it's
I
stuff
think what
like
it.
that I believe that we have to talk about, so we can understand and we can put a little bit of, even if I don't like the word, of order in in our thoughts, in order to who to trust, and who to like, are people there for you really? Do you really have a connection with them? And do they really remember you when you're away? And if you see them tomorrow, is it gonna be like the last time that you saw them, like nothing happened? Or is it gonna be like they're gonna see you and they're gonna feel that they're speaking to a stranger?
Yeah. Well, you know, I think, you know, you throw the word trust in there, and remember when we were talking about respect, and I said that, like, you know, in a perfect world, everybody would deserve respect immediately, but it only works halfway, because some people have to earn a certain amount of respect. Trust works in a very similar fashion, but it's a little bit more. You can be a little bit more generous with trust, because until someone actually deviates from a trustworthy position, that's when it's like, okay, trust is gone. You violated that. It's done, and trust is a lot harder to get back. I respect people I don't trust. Okay, but but I also trust some people that I don't respect. And what do I mean by that?
Respect them.
What
Respect
I'm
them as human beings, but don't, yeah,
like,
because they're a lot.
but like, for instance, like, I can trust some people to be that person, even though I got no respect for them. I know that person to a degree where I can trust that they would be a certain way in a certain action just because of how they portrayed themselves. Now, going back to what Eric was saying, like, if you're in a male-female scenario, like a male-female relationship, and you're with a partner that let's say has cheated on you, like, that trust thing is out the window. Respect is still there, possibly, but I mean, that trust has to be earned back. And you know, yeah, like, it's you know, it's again, it's a case by case situation. Like, every single person is going
It
to be a little
is.
bit different, and you know, it really depends on reciprocation. When it comes down to relationships, it really depends on reciprocation. I mean, because people screw up all the time, and when they screw up in terms of violating a trust position, um, sometimes it's because of the situation. It might be because you screwed up and you didn't even realize it. So, if you screwed
Oh
up,
yes, so we have
you
to
know,
look back at ourselves sometimes and be
yeah.
like, what did I do from my part?
Did,
Because I know, like, from sorry, Robert, I'll just say something quickly. I know from my situation, you know, I came back to Cyprus. I had no money. I had no job. I kind of I have a friend in Australia that I love her so much, and I didn't even manage to send her a little present. It's not about the present, but I wanted to keep contact with her, and because of all these situations, sometimes you get how do we say, you get you don't forget, but you go with the flow of the craziness of everyday life, and you postpone things. So maybe sometimes it's better if we just give a call, send a message, and be there for our friends. Obviously, when they are so far away and we have different schedules, different time scales, is crazy. But when there is a will, there is way. At this moment, I'd like to welcome Truth Nagal. Nagal?
hey,
Hey,
how's it going?
Truth.
Truth undeniable.
Hey, Truth. Did I say
Hey,
your name
hey,
correctly this time?
Truth finally replied. You know I'm gonna do it every. You know I'm gonna do
Thank
it
you
every
for
time,
being
right?
here, Truth. Today's subject is relationships and friendships, and I think we have a lot to talk about. Robert, you wanted to say something?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Truth. I'm always gonna do that every time you enter the room, but that's only, that's out of good sportsmanship.
Oh, no
I
worries, man. I don't take it personally.
You know what? To be honest with you, man, I do appreciate you, and I do appreciate your honesty and your humbleness. So,
Well, thank you, man. I do appreciate that, and I appreciate you as well.
well, thanks. Yeah, well, we've been through a lot in the last while, and we're talking about friendships and relationships, and they take they take the toll on us, for one, because sometimes we value people, and it doesn't go the way that we thought. And we were just talking about how trust may come into the picture, and trust can be easily lost, but it takes some work, but it can also be regained. And we were talking about respect before, and respect is one of those harder things to earn, because when you lose respect for somebody, it's really hard to get it back. Like I was saying, I can respect people I don't trust, and I can trust people I don't respect. But I can't trust somebody who's destroyed trust. And
Sure.
that's a lot harder to gain back. However, that said, though, I mean, it does depend on the situation. I mean, sometimes, and I'm just catching you up on this, on what got said, and it's that sometimes, when somebody does something to violate your trust, it might be because of something you did in the first place, because you have to look inside and see, well, what did I do in order for them to act a certain way? Maybe they don't trust me or respect me because of something I did. So, it's a very, 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 very tricky subject, and I do think that it's a case by case, person by person situation. Everyone's different. Some people's attitudes about other people are very, very polarized. Not going to name any names. We know certain people out there who think one way. They have a one-track mind about how certain people are, and they categorize them, and that's that, and that's it. And I like to think things are a little bit more organic than that. Personally, that's kind of how I roll, and
We're
I
all
do.
like fingerprints, we're all individual.
Absolutely, and we all have our quirks. Like I can't say I don't have mine. I'm kind of fucked up myself, pardon the French, but but I try to be as good as I can.
I think it's all a process,
It is.
because Google even got it set up. because first when I meet you, I start off following you, right? And then once we get some resonation and we begin to gel and begin to blend, I click on acquaintance, and then you working on your friendship, right, or your family. It's only two left. Either you're gonna be my friend or you're gonna be my family, and it's just like we have to be real careful to be clicking on friend before you put that work in. I want to see your face. I want to know that you're a real person. Have some real interface, some real interaction if possible, and build on that real friendship. I think we should take it to the level where I should have your cell phone number now. I think it should be personal. Because we at a level where life is beginning to be painful, and we need to reach out and touch one another, a little bit easier.
I agree 100% with you, Eric. You
Yeah.
want to take this to the next level? You want my phone number?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
I feel, yeah, but it's a good point that you make, because I mean we do live in a time where we're kind of taught to be afraid of each other, especially don't talk to strangers, don't talk to people on the internet, and
Yeah.
we live in a time like that, and it's hard to make friends and trust people when you have stuff like that going on in the back of our heads. Like, it's an indoctrination process too.
Yeah, and then there is another question: how do we trust people on the internet? Like, I know you guys for some time now. I don't know how many months, and we've been talking nearly every single day.
Yeah.
And or every week. So, and because we have this common cause, we kind of trust each other a little bit more than any other person we randomly meet on the internet. So, what do you guys have to say about that?
Well, I know for a fact that
but it's very tricky, especially in this truth movement. I don't like to put names on things, but I'm gonna say truth movement. It's very tricky because of all the situations that we have going on here. Is crazy.
Well,
crazy.
You got to throw in other things that we already know, and we know that certain people out there that are in this movement aren't part of the movement at all. They're just there to confuse us and to to kind of throw us against each other. I mean, speaking of friends and stuff, I mean, earlier today we were talking off the air with a panel of people, and we were all thrown against each other for a good couple of weeks while we were the troll this and the shill that and blah 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 this and blah 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 that, and I think a lot of us have come out of it and we've repaired these friendships because we realized that there's another force at work, and
right.
if anything, if that did anything to us, it actually reinforced what we are trying to stand for, and it reinforced our friendships, because those of us that came out of it realizing it and trying to fix it, we grew. Just like Eric was saying, is that it is a growth process, and we're able to take it to another level. We were forced to do that because either if we didn't value the friendships or the relationships that we had tried to build in the first place, then we would have gone on and just kind of terminated those relationships. But instead, those of us who tried to get better from there, we proved that our friendship is worth more than not being friends. So I mean, like it is a growth process for sure.
It's very weird because I have a bad habit. I call everyone a friend. I speak with my friends, and I'm like,
I suffer
oh
the
my
same.
God.
I suffer from the same issue, but
yeah, and I'm like, oh, this friend, oh, that friend. I'm talking about people, and I say friend, and I've had 2 people in the last 2 days telling me, when you say friend, what do you mean? Do you mean close friend, or do you mean just a person you know? Because even a person I know, I call him friend, him or her. and it's very tricky because we should be able to distinguish. And also, the other question that I want to make is, do you value a relationship because of the time you know the other person or because of the connection? And that question I'm going to say to Truth Nagao.
Well, actually, I think it boils down to me more to the connection, the ability to relate to each other. I don't really, it doesn't necessarily matter how long I've known somebody. I'm pretty good at feeling people out. I believe anyway. Sometimes I'm wrong. Of course, you're always going to be wrong. But, if I can talk to people, I'm pretty like, I don't talk to everybody about personal stuff, but the people I do, it's just kind of like you bounce personal like experiences off of each other, and you one thing I've noticed is in a lot of these private hangouts, like there's a lot of people that have so many commonalities, and one of the first ones is almost everybody plays music of some sort or is somewhat musically inclined, and then on the other side of that, there's almost everybody that's had some type of spiritual, paranormal, whatever experience in their life, and that's something I've had a hard time, especially the spiritual experience, had a hard time in my real life finding other people that have had these experiences, and to see that it's so common over here, it really lends to me that it's not a coincidence in a way. That's just my perspective on it, though.
Yeah, I understand. So you say some, and let's put it this, so people need to have something in common, let's say, and maybe that common thing is the connection that they feel about each other. Is that right?
Sure. It's, I think it comes down to the life you've lived. I guess my biggest problem with connecting with people is that I guess their intimacy with their actual life. For me, that's everybody's got their own different passions and everybody's got their differences, but it's how they perceive their reality around them that I guess draws me to other people.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, and sorry, continue.
But the big problem I have, I guess, in my daily life is that people aren't even aware enough to see these conspiracy things. I don't think that that's really what all this is about. We're all just happen to be, I believe, in some way or another more aware or trained to be more aware than our typical everyday person. And for some reason or another, it just worked out that way. But that's the problem. We have this issue with relating with other people. They think we're crazy. They think we're tinfoil hatters, whatever. They think we're off our rocker. And that's partially because of conditioning and partially because these people don't think for themselves. They are not aware enough to see anything outside of a certain bubble. They can't break outside of that initial bubble.
Exactly.
I guess,
Exactly. And how can we be friends with someone that they don't understand us and we don't understand them back, right? To a certain level, to a certain degree.
Well, that's where the whole reciprocation thing comes in. I mean, we are bound by our biology and by our psychology. I mean, like we will always feel like there's safety in numbers. So like-minded people will immediately gravitate towards each other. Doesn't mean they're going to be best friends and go and play kung fu in the garage together. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's it's how people originally kind of do come together, if you know what I'm saying. I'm quoting that Step Brothers movie. Did we just become best friends? But funny ass movie, by the way. I don't know if you've seen it, but anyway, but at the same time, though, it is like-minded people will initially gravitate towards each other. I mean, you can become mortal enemies after the fact when you realize, hey, so and so here is an asshole, and I don't agree with anything they say, even though we were like-minded and we had similar interests. We don't actually have the same viewpoints. So a lot of factors have to be taken into consideration, I guess, when you get to that point. However, like I was saying before, though, it's I guess what we've kind of done is we've broken through that, and even though a lot of us have different views, like whether it be on religion or, you know, our belief even in like the sciences. I mean, I'm not going to go into like the other bullshit like flat earth and all this other stuff. I'm talking about, you know, actual, you know, like theories or things that, you know, people study or what have you. We don't have to agree on them, but I've found that the majority of us actually have learned how to put differences aside in order to better the community, and then we end up supporting each other. So, like, I mean, this is like, you know, I think it's a little bit less traditional than, you know, your neighbor down the street who you know, I mean, I got a buddy of mine that I've known for 20 years now, and we go out, we'll party, we'll get hammered, but I know for a fact I wouldn't trust him with my old with a girlfriend. I wouldn't, you know what I mean? I wouldn't trust him, like, I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. I wouldn't hire him for damn sure, and I wouldn't even recommend him for somebody else.
Yeah,
but
because,
you know,
we have this knowing, right? Even if the other person like to play that they are friends and they have good intentions, we have this knowing. We feel we feel it, whether they are our friends or not.
Well, in this particular case, like the person I'm actually speaking about, though, I'll tell you this, though, is I'll be the first person to defend them, because nobody else is allowed to say that. Anybody else comes up and tries to insult him or berate him or belittle him, I'll kick them in the face, you know? And it's like, you know, I protect him like he's my own brother. But at the same time, like, you know, remember I was telling you about, like, I'll be friends, or, you know, I'll have a relationship with somebody I don't trust. Well, this is a good example, because nobody else is allowed to say anything bad about him, because, like, I'm the one with the experiences. I'm the one with the experience not to trust him. If anyone's going to say something, it's me. You don't have the right to say it because you don't really know him, and he hasn't given you that opportunity. You know what I mean? So, I mean, again, like I said, like, you know, relationships are very, very tricky, especially when it comes to friendship. And, you know, it even, like, I mean, I don't even think I like my own family as much as I like some of the people that I've met in this community. Like,
I agree with that, and I don't connect. I connect a lot more with people that understand me and don't just think that I'm crazy than my family. Sometimes they think that I'm crazy. So.
Well, something I'd really like to, I think that's important to kind of take into perspective anyways, is that if you look, and I've mentioned this, I'm not sure if I mentioned it live, but I've mentioned it a few times, that there's, you know, back in the We'll Do It Live days, there were about 300 people watching it live, you know, at its peak, and maybe a little bit more than that at times, but we, you know, there was growth at that time, and it was really, you know, picking up. And right now, there's not a lot of new faces. I think that the 300 is still the most I've seen on any podcast, usually down in the hundreds on the big ones, and, you know, down in the, you know, 40s and 50s for, like, your average one. You know, it's like in anywhere in between, depending on the given night. And that to me says that there's some type of, like, dam there that's not allowing us to reach out and grab other people. That there's some reason that we are not growing. I think we're doing everything right on our end, or trying to do that anyways.
Yeah.
But the people that we have on this side, I mean, you know, there's not that many of them. If you really think about 300 people that are in the tight-knit little group. That's a pin needle. I mean, that's nothing.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not that hard to decipher who among us are legit and are not in it, or crazy, or whatever negative word you'd like to place in there. You can find. I think it's not that hard to find out. I think all of us kind of know everybody. We all see the same people in the chats. We know who's who, unless they're using the sock account. So,
well,
I mean,
you know,
it's tight though.
Again, it's that, you know, we were actually talking about this earlier, and you would have really, I don't know if you checked out the show I did earlier tonight. We had a really good podcast, and it was about broadcast journalism and about different venues. We were talking about Google and things, and this kind of touches on it. And I think Google in itself does stifle us a lot, like, and it puts us into a dark corner because of what we represent. We're not monetizing our videos. We're not getting the hundreds of thousands of views. You know, we're not. We're pretty much in a position where we are the tinfoil hat wearers of the of the Google and YouTube community in a sense. You know what I mean? However, us breaking away from that is probably the more important thing. But at the same time, like you were saying, it is a small knit group, and a small knit group is a lot easier to quantify and create lasting friendships out of. I think personally.
That was pretty much my point. We had
yeah.
And I think that they're starting to form. It's kind of like a funnel, and I think this whole thing has been like some type of weird experiment to funnel people down into shit and kind of like watch what the fuck would happen in a way. That's just always been in the back of my head. Whether or not it's true, it's just something I've looked at. But that's the thing. We all kind of have been led down these paths, and like it's like we're playing a video game. We're in this certain construct that we're not allowed to go out of, and yeah, I think we've all been trying to break out of it, and I think there's good efforts being made right now. I mean, like you trying to get out on different platforms and stuff. I hope that we can figure something out. I mean, that's the only way. Google isn't going to let us do it.
I don't like to toot my own horn and plug my own show, but I highly recommend you check out the show we did tonight. It's only an hour and 38 minutes. It wasn't an 8-hour podcast, so you don't have to worry.
Are you guys hearing Rob?
You're more than welcome.
I'm not hearing Rob.
Percy.
I don't know why.
Hi, Percy.
You hear me?
Robert, maybe go out and come on in, or press do that as well. And,
I'm gonna come out and come back in. Or do you guys hear him?
I
hear
everybody.
I can hear you.
I'm gonna have to come out and come back in. For some reason, I can't hear Rob. So.
Okay, Percy.
Hey, Truth, you was telling the truth, because I was thinking about that earlier, that they gave us Google and it was real sweet, and then they took it away from us like on some Indian giving shit. And then it's like now the new words is, oh, I gotta go out and come back in. It's like they sitting back watching us, because first they watch us have fun and enjoy it. Now they watching to see how we respond to the shit.
We're so used to, like, we know now, like, we expect not to hear someone, we expect not to be heard, because we know that we have this situation right here where they're screwing us,
right.
So
we will adapt.
So it's funny. Hey, Pressy, can you hear everyone now?
Can you hear me there, Pressy?
Yeah, I can hear everyone. Yep.
All right, cool.
Okay,
cool.
Brilliant. Hi, Pressy, how are you? Welcome to the show.
It's my pleasure.
Hey, buddy.
Okay.
Good to see you again, man.
What's up, Rob?
Oh, man, it's been a hell of a week, but...
What's up, bro?
What's up, Truth, Eric?
What's up, Prince?
Yo.
Yeah, sorry I haven't been in touch, and I haven't worked further on that trailer. I've had kind of a weird shit week, but I'll get it done this weekend for you for sure, man.
No, it's no big deal. I'm overloaded anyway with a bunch of stuff, so I'm not going to be able to start the show right away anyway. So.
All right, cool. Cause, yeah, I had some bad luck that befell upon me. So.
Yeah. I heard, man. Hope everything goes good. Actually, dude, I'll talk to you on the side.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's up, Master Yo?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you, Prissy. I just woke up and I started my show, and we'll see how it goes. Today is for friendship and relationships.
And Master Yo, what about love at first sight and that connection?
Oh my God, yes. I believe in that. Why? Why do I believe in that? Because it happened to me. No, I'm joking. That's not the reason. Well, I don't know. Oh my God, I'm confused now. Let me show my face. Love at first sight.
You can say
I
it. You
believe
call love
I
at
believe
first
in
sight.
connection. Yeah, I believe in connection. I believe that I met people. So I believe in love at first sight. Why? Because I met people that I was like, this person, I have such a connection, such a deep knowing inside of me that they are my friend. And the same goes with love at first sight. It's just there's a little bit of eros as well, because I said in Greek there's agape, there's many words for love. Yeah, there is agape, which means love. There is eros, which means in love, and there is friendship, which means philia. So yes, I
I
believe
guess
what.
that is simply to love, right?
Sorry, to
I
love.
was gonna say,
Oh,
it
to
sounds like
love.
the yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say the
love,
context is like to
agape
love.
is unconditional love, you know?
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I thought. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, like, love doesn't always have to translate into a male female kind of a relationship. I mean, you can love your friends, and I mean, and that in itself is almost unconditional in itself. I mean, that's where it's an unconditional set of values and respect. Like going back to last week's show. And that in itself is a sign of love. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I really like this subject, and I wouldn't like to quit my show right now. But there might be a possibility that um, that a manager of a bank in England would like to join the show, and that's a completely different subject. So how you guys would you like to talk about some economical stuff, and we start another show, and then we continue the show another day?
But what's going on? I just jumped back in.
Oh, sorry, Truth. I have a manager from a bank in England. Not a manager. He's just a store manager, and he's willing to come in the show and talk about some things. So how about we start another hangout and we change our subject today?
Just tell them to come in here right now and
Yeah,
talk
you
about
can just change it in the description.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it kind of relates, because if you want to talk about money has a friendship to it, because we all need it right now.
Oh, brilliant.
And those who say that money can't buy me love, I disagree. No, I'm just joking.
I fucking hate money, man. I wish money.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. Being facetious. It can buy some happiness, though. Well,
Yeah,
unless your
Money
name is
is
Press.
fucking slavery chain.
This guy has been to Cyprus and he knows the situation here as well. He was out of work, and he's gonna tell you by himself when he comes in. He knows a lot of stuff, a lot more than me about the economical situation, because he's been really researching it and really been looking for it. He was in a TV show, but they didn't really let him talk. And I met him in Cyprus because of my because I was working in a restaurant. So that's all the information I'm gonna give about that, just to be clear with you guys. And we wait till he comes in. And I mean, you can talk about other things as well.
a matter of fact, the way I met Robert is because my sound didn't work.
I remember that, actually. That's right. I do remember that. Yeah.
Having a sound problem, and he helped me out. And I was wondering, I couldn't get no help from nobody else, and he reached out to me, and I was just like, this guy got something going on, and I just began to follow him, and and now I'm a part of his family and his community, and then I got mad love and respect for Rob. He like an uncle to me. If I could say that.
I
Even
appreciate that. And you know what, Eric? When I was like I for the longest time, especially when I was doing like those two podcasts every weekend, and I was working full time, and I just never had the time to watch other people's videos. Man, I went back to your channel and I saw that tribute, and like hearing the kids and hearing everybody shouting my name. You know what? It damn near brought a tear to my eye, and I was like, wow. uh, I was like, I was completely stupefied. I have to say, and that's when I realized, that what we do here, guys, is like, it has an impact on people, like more than we know. Like this isn't just us playing games on the internet with each other. This is like real stuff. And truth, I'll say something, like, and I don't mean to harp on it. I just want to reinforce what I was saying last week. Is that you know when things went down the way that it went down, that's why I was hurt, because I felt that people that invested in you, that's why I was hurt, because I could feel that other people, were impacted by some of the choices that got made. But anyway, I'm not here to say anything about that. But I'm sorry, bud. What's
because really, it's my personal life at the time, and even now, it's gotten way more intense and crazy. It was just kind of a boil over at that point, and I guess that was. I don't really have much of a release of people, I guess, to talk to. I don't really have family I talk to. All my friends, they all have kids and lives of their own, so I don't know. I felt really claustrophobic at the time, and I mean, you've heard kind of what's going on in my personal life a little bit, so. Yeah, I've got a lot going on, and that was kind of the very beginning of it, and it just, I haven't wanted to talk about it up until recently.
Well, hey, man, listen, if you ever want to talk on the side, man, just hit me up, man. I have no problem, because I'm going through rough times myself, and I've been through some pretty rough times. So, hey, it's cool.
I appreciate that, dude.
So I would like to welcome Jane on my show.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi,
Hello,
Jane.
Jane.
So good to have you here, sweetie.
Thank you.
We're talking about relationships, love, and friendships, and how we distinguish all these things, and how we distinguish not good friends, but friends that are really friends and friends that are not friends. So I'm sure you've been through a lot of situations yourself.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I have. It's. I mean, I don't really. I guess like I have been. I had a lot of friends, but I mean, they all like kind of like stabbed me in the back. But I think each. Like, I think each. It's like it's different for everybody though. Not everyone's the same. I always think people are the benefit out. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, like every single one of us here, we've had these experiences, all of us, and there's no one else to blame than the system and the whole brainwashing that is going on. I believe that people are not balanced in themselves.
Yeah.
I think that the bond that we share here is unique because we could be anywhere with anybody right now, but we are here. So we have created this great part of our life to be something special because it's like all of us seem like misfits, but we don't really we're not really misfits. We just fit right here.
Well, yeah, well said. Yeah, I mean, alone, on a singular level, I guess you could say. I mean, we're all kind of, I don't want to use the term useless, but what I mean when I say it is to say that on a singular level, we're not the team that we are when we're together. Like we are a lot more useful as a team together, and that's I think why we come together. We attract each other to to ourselves, like to each other. You know what I mean?
Dude, I think it brings up another.
Yeah, I totally agree with like when individuals always it's just like laws of attraction kind of thing, like if we're all like-minded, then you all I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say like one by one, we're all useless as a tits on a bull, but but when we all come together in a group, we become a force to be reckoned with.
You better believe that.
Totally
You know what I
agree.
mean?
Yeah, of course. No one can do. Someone can start something individually, but no one can go the whole way individually. Like we have to work on changing ourselves, but we do need other people. We're all on this together.
And it's a
We're not
variety
just
of.
by ourselves. If it
Yeah,
was by ourselves, it would have been a different story.
That's
And
right.
I would like to welcome Safety Man here. Hey man!
Hi
Hey
there.
mate! How you doing?
Hey there, Safety.
So good to have you here. I'm so happy.
Hey, word up, brother.
My English friend.
Pardon?
Hey,
My
good to see you
English
again.
friend.
You're talking at the same time. I didn't hear you. What did you say?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, good to see you again, man.
Yeah, nice to see you, Robert. I know you've been going through a few issues. I hope they get better for you.
Usually I land on my feet, but I have to freak out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just need to keep strong. It is what it is right now. It is what it is. We are at a particular system. We deal with our psychological well-being. We deal with our families, with our friends, with our loves, with our money, with everything. Sometimes it seems so much. Sometimes it seems so much. So the only thing that we have sometimes is whoever believes in God has God, and whoever doesn't believe in God, they have themselves to believe in something, to have hope, and to have.
I joke around often, and I'll say, any day above ground is a good one, or I'll say, any day above ground I consider a win. But really, actually, that is my philosophy, because when I say it that way, what I mean to say is it can always be worse. It doesn't really matter how bad it is, and
somebody worse off.
That's right. Somebody else has always got it worse than you, and take what you actually have,
Well, I'd actually like to bring something on that. I think that, I think I said it earlier. It's, that struggle brings temperament of the spirit. In order to gain knowledge, in order to have understanding, you must struggle. And, like the whole kind of premise I've been trying to live under is, life as a warrior, as though you're dying, because it really, puts you right in the moment, and it makes you very aware of what you're doing, and you try to attain impeccability in your actions. And it does come down to, the truth of the matter is, you are born into this world and you will die alone. No, you can't take anybody with you when you die. You're going by yourself on your own journey.
Yeah. And you can't take your toys with you.
In all else, my belief is that we only do have ourselves, but God gave us the strength and the tools to take care of ourselves individually. That's my truth, anyways.
Yeah, and when I took my little journey and traveled around in Canada here, like I literally proved to my friends and family who all thought I was crazy. They thought I was nuts because I didn't have any money. I just jumped in my ride and said, "Screw it, I'm gonna go." I didn't even have enough gas money to get me where I wanted to go, but I found work everywhere I went. Thanks, Kijiji. But the thing is that I proved to all of them that like I could make a go of it. I could travel.
Yeah, when there is a will, there is a way.
Yeah, exactly. And like surviving is the easy part. Surviving is the easy part. It's everything else that comes along with it that you have to have. The right temperament and I think coping is a skill in itself.
Yeah, coping, it is a skill, and being
Word.
hopeful and being a little bit of positive, like not positive, but know that things are gonna work out. Have a knowing that things will work out one way or another, because we deserve so much more than this.
Yeah. Well, it was like you said to
Actually,
me earlier, Yoda. Sorry to cut you off the truth, but Yoda said it yesterday to me when I was I was a little emotional about my situation and I hadn't really thought everything through. And she just said, "Hey, this is a time for you to think straight, like, you know." And yeah, I was in a panic mode, right? So, you know, you get a little bit, you know, what do you do like in an emergency situation? Like, I was trained, to think rationally and calmly. Like, when everybody else is freaking out, I'm always a rational voice.
The calm one, yeah.
Yeah.
So we cannot freak out. Like, freaking out is what they want us to do. Freaking out is what they want us to do. We have to sit there and be right. What is my situation? What is given? What is taken? What can I do? Here is a list of my situation. I have a house, or I don't have a house. I have a job, or I don't have a job. Okay, what can I do about that? What can I do about that? And I go on from there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd
because
like to share two really quick quotes that are hitting the nail on the head with what we're talking about exactly. And the first one is a path without heart is never enjoyable. On the other hand, a path with heart is easy. It does not make a warrior work at liking it. It makes it more joyful a journey. As long as a man follows it, he is one with it. And the second one is impeccability begins with a single act that has to be deliberate, precise, and sustained. If that act is repeated long enough, one acquires a sense of unbending intent, which can be applied to anything else. If it is accomplished, the road is clear. The one thing will lead to another until the warrior realizes his full potential. And I think those kind of go hand in hand with what we're talking about. And I just
it does go hand in hand. And we should, because all of these new age shit, they're telling us, oh, no, you should concentrate on the positive. So how the fuck, excuse my French, do you want me to just concentrate on the positive when my life is like no job, no house, no, all this kind of stuff? So no, we should look at the situation and be like, okay, what do I do now, firstly? And secondly, we should look at the situation and have hope about it. So we're going to say to ourselves, what can I do now? And then we're going to be positive about it. Not just right from the sheet, go and say, okay, I don't look at the sheet, but let's think about my holidays without having a job. Or some sort of income. I'm not a fan of jobs, but some sort of income. I have to work, I'm looking for a job myself. I have to. This is it is what it is right now.
It's funny that since we're on this subject, it brings to mind a book that I read by Herman Hesse, and it's called Siddhartha. And I have to recommend it to anybody. It's an easy read. It's not a long book, but it's a it's a life-changing book. Especially if you have half a brain and half a heart, it'll be life-changing. Here's a synopsis. I just pulled it up, just to give you guys an idea what it's about. It says, in the novel, Siddhartha, a young man, leaves his family for a contemplative life. Then, restless, he discards it for one of the flesh. He conceives a son, but bored and sickened by lust and greed, he moves on again. Near despair, Siddhartha comes to a river where he hears a unique sound. The sound signals the true beginning of his life, the beginning of suffering, rejection, peace, and finally wisdom. And it's a very, very life-changing book, because I often go back to some of the things that I read in that book when I go through different crossroads, or the river, which is basically like a metaphor for a crossroads in his story. But I have to recommend it to anybody. because I don't think anyone who's anyone here won't come down through some bad times in their life, and having something like that in the back of your mind is really good. It's a very, 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 very positive book.
Can you share the title and everything through the side
Yep.
chat or show
Yep.
us?
I will right now, actually.
They say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, don't they?
Yeah, but you also have to have resolve. You have to have, you also have to have patience, not just with others, but with yourself. I mean,
Hey, Rob, we never plan for the shit to hit the fan. You know, as long as we working and being productive and saving money and making money, we're not worrying about losing our shit. So it's like when that shit hits you, it's like it's shocking. It's like it's three things happen to you. First you shock, and then you realize it, and then you gotta move forward.
Okay, this is a great moment for the guy from the bank to come in, because the situation here in Cyprus, no one expected it. And I believe that they want to bring the same thing in America. And this kind of stuff, they took money out of people's accounts. They did a lot of things here. The guy can explain everything to you because he was documenting everything. And this is a kind of situation that's why we say we need to grow our own food. We need to start having other supplies. And this goes back to survival that we were talking yesterday. Because just having a job does not secure you for forever.
No,
especially with the situations that we go through right now. I'm going to be right back, guys. I'm sorry about that. I'll be right back.
No worries. I was going to say, yeah, you know, it's funny that you said what you said there, Eric. I'm the kind of person that I usually have like a plan A, I have a plan B, I usually have a plan C, D, E through G. But, you know, the funny thing is that when I get relaxed and complacent and then I don't have any plans, that's when things go sideways. And then it's like, oh, damn, you know. And it's not to say that you shouldn't get comfortable occasionally and that you shouldn't not worry, but it's when you feel too comfortable is when life will catch up on you. It's when it'll approach from the side, you know, and give you a kick in the nuts.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have to go back to putting the money in our sock again. You know, for that rainy day. We got to consider that it rain all the time now. So
Yeah.
don't wait for a rainy day because it's raining right now.
Yeah, I hate the rain and I hate the cold. I'm in Canada. Usually when it rains, it snows, but hey.
Right, and when it rain, Rob, you can't work.
Well, I came out of a bad situation. It still sucks, but it's not as bad as it was. So I mean, and that was within the 24-hour time span. But I mean, I'm not out of the woods yet. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, you know, I got a day to sort out my car still, which is kind of still on the brink. But if that doesn't work, I mean, then I have to find another solution, you know, and solutions are out there, you know. I moved back to Edmonton for a reason because it's a big city, there's lots of employment, and they have a decent transit system. So if all else fails, then at least I got that, you know what I mean?
Right. But we all know what's happening. We use our time and our energy to create money. And that's what it is.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for the system to collapse because then I don't have to worry about money.
Right. And then waiting around for that is just like waiting for Jesus to come back.
Yeah, no. Yeah, good point. No, I was being facetious when I said that, but yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Because I feel the same way. I'm waiting around for something. You know, I think one time I saw Defense Secretary Hagan said something about a New World Order speech, and then my girl was like, "Well, you've been waiting for it. Now they talking about it." I'm like, "Well, you know, because you just came in here and heard it."
The big one for me when I was younger was Halley's Comet, and I'm like, "That's it, really?" And then the next one was Y2K. I'm like, "That's it." And then the end of the world in 2012. I'm like, "That's it." And then. Yeah, no, we've been taught to wait, we've been taught to wait a lot. We wait in lines. They invented the queue, you know, the wait, like
Waiting on the bus.
yeah, waiting for bus, waiting for the doctor, we've been taught to wait. Like waiting is one of those things that have been indoctrinated into us. And I don't like to wait. I like to make things happen. I don't like to wait too long. I just do stuff. And you know, call me impatient, but I don't think waiting is practical. If we spend all our life waiting for shit to happen, then, you know, not much is going to happen, because you'll be like, that's it?
Yeah,
You know?
because they put us in lines and made us line up.
I remember, you know, like amusement parks, you know, like you wait in line to go on a ride, and, you know, what's the worst thing that ever happened? What's the worst thing that happened is, like, you know, you're ready to go, and then they pull the chain out right in front of you. You ever have that happen? Where, like,
Yeah.
like, and then you're like, what? Gotta wait again? You know? Or I like the doctor's office is the best, because you go to the doctor's office, you wait in the waiting room to see the front desk, and then they take you and put you into another room where you wait some more, and then they end up putting you in the actual office to see the doctor, where you wait for the doctor.
That's
And
why
it's
that's why they call it a waiting room.
Yeah, I know, it's horrible.
Right. They even put, right, you're right.
And why do they call like waiters? There's a reason.
Yeah.
You gotta wait for the motherfucker.
Exactly.
There's truth in the words. There's always in the etymology of words. There's always truth, and this is something Eric woke me up to, and I always knew because I speak Greek. Excuse me. I speak Greek, and there is an etymology in everything, and you go back to ancient Greek and you can learn a lot. But it's in English as well, and Eric reminded me that, you know, girl, you have to look at these things as well, not just the other. And so Pressy?
Yeah, sorry, my mic was on mute. What's up?
Oh, no worries. Do you have anything to say? Would you like to add something?
I
Yeah.
think yes, they're covering both of them. I agree with everything they said. Like, you covered it. Really.
Sorry, Jane, I didn't understand you. I cannot hear you very well.
I said I think I agree with everything you guys said. I think basically everything is basically just said is how I feel about the topic. You know.
Oh, brilliant! I'm glad it resonates with you.
Yeah, and I was gonna say the waiting thing.
I mean, yeah, I
I
agree
don't know
with
if
everything.
Jane
they
can hear me.
said,
Jane, can you hear me?
Yeah, 1 second, I'll check. Jane, can you hear Pressy? No?
No, I can't hear him.
Okay,
Oh, that's
would you
right.
like to go out and come back in, because there is a struggle going on right here. Struggle this stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
It's okay. Yeah,
That would be a good T-shirt. That would be a great T-shirt. Scroogle happens.
Yeah.
Scroog happens. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, waiting. Right. Yes, waiting is the antithesis of being practical, I guess. Or yeah, because and here's the thing though. Sometimes when you're trying to accomplish something using some sort of strategy, waiting might be necessary.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, you're really not waiting at all. Let's say, let's say you're like an MMA fighter, and your strategy is to wait for that person to make a move first. You're not really waiting, really, because in the end, you still have a goal. It's a means.
That's active waiting. Yes, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't forget the saying, time waits for no man.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but if you're waiting, here's the thing, and I think really the point here is, do you have an end? Do you have a goal? Do you have are you following your heart, you know? Because if you're waiting,
Yeah.
you're certainly not doing that. If you're just waiting in general, like you're just like being a, what do you call it, a sitting duck, right? In life in general, right? You got to have this this vision, and you got to try to pursue it. And here's where a lot of people get all. This is why a lot of people don't end up doing that. It's because they're afraid of failure. And you know, that's the last thing you should be afraid of. If anything, I've been thinking about making videos about this. You know, sort of these just general philosophies in life. You should want to fail. This is I think the philosophy that will get people far. Go out there and fail as many fucking times as possible. Just go out there and make it your goal not your goal to fail, but you know, just go out there and fail. Just go do things and just fail.
Press.
Yeah.
You know the problem. You know your problem you've got over here now, though, in that in schools, they don't like you to fail. In schools, they like nobody to lose, and I think that's stupid.
Yeah, they do that there too now. They do that here. It's like they don't want to hurt their feelings. Like, you know,
Right.
when I grew up, when I was in, well, I'm not saying I grew up. I'm 40 years old. I haven't grown up yet. But when I was in school, I mean, my buddy Dean, he was 2 years older than me because they held him back. Why? Because he was an idiot.
Guys, I failed way too many times.
But I mean,
I know
don't
how
do
to-
that anymore.
I know how to fail.
Yeah, but you don't.
I know.
You
You're
don't
such an
fall
involved
to success unless you fail.
Right.
I
you don't have
cannot
to
hear you
explain-
guys. You all talk at the same time. Can everybody hear everybody?
Yeah, I think
Robert
I can.
here, can you all hear me?
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
failed shitloads. I know how to fail.
Hey, you know, sometimes, you know, failure is the only way to learn anything. I mean, we like Press is right. He's definitely onto something there, because we are generally taught that failure is a bad thing. So, you know, a lot of people will not try anything because of they don't
Because
want
they're
to.
scared to fail.
They're
Yeah,
scared
that's
to fail,
right.
yeah.
They're scared to fail.
But what they don't realize is by their own inaction, they're completely failing anyway. So, like, I mean, it's the wrong message, I think, that we've been giving out to people.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: a warrior will fail a million times, and that's what people got to remember. Are you a warrior? Are you fearless? And that's really in itself the ultimate life success, even if you fail everything. So like if you get a whim to just like go, and this is sort of a I guess superficial example, but if you get like this whim to just, and you don't have any money, but you just want to go to Los Angeles and try to become an actor or Hollywood and just do it, and you fail miserably. Within like 3-6 months, you have to come back or whatever, and you know but what you tried, and you know what, that is the success, and it builds your character too. So it's an evolution process, and if everybody lived like that, it would be like the world would change so rapidly. And I think people do live like that, and that's what people got to understand.
Yeah, and you know, it goes back hand in hand with what you were saying before, and what I was saying about waiting is that, like, if you are actively waiting because you know what you're doing and you are strategizing, let's say, in order to achieve a goal, then that is actually that's active participation. Now, if somebody else is leading you through it and you're waiting on account of somebody else.
I can hear you, Jane.
Can everybody else hear me?
I can hear you, Jane.
I
I
can
can hear Jane.
Can you hear me
Press
now?
hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me? I guess not.
Doesn't sound like
No,
Can she hear me?
Preston, maybe you should go out and come back
All right.
in.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Jane?
It's unbelievable what we have to go through here.
Can Truth hear?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Hang on, I have a poem about this. I'm trying to find it.
And you know what I was thinking too, that even in relationships and friendships, if you fail to communicate, you may
Also,
not
what were we
have a
going to
good
talk
relationship.
about?
Eric was trying to say something, Jane Moon.
Oh, is he talking right now?
No, he's going to
Or-
talk now. Eric?
Oh no, I was saying that sometimes in friendships and
Yeah, I kind of
relationships,
knew. I think I need to log out again.
sometimes in friendships and relationships, if you fail to communicate, you can have some problems. Or if you fail to procreate, I was just thinking, like, should you wait to have sex in relationships? In between male and female, should you wait for that?
Communication is number one. No, love is number one, and the good intentions, and communication is number two. Is very high at the top, communication. So there is the sexual communication, but how can you have a sexual communication if you cannot communicate on an intellectual level or on a heart level? You need to be able to communicate on a heart level, and then the rest.
I got a poem here that I wrote about failure.
Okay, go ahead.
And it's a little sarcastic. It kind of it sounds like I'm playing the violin for myself, but just listen to this.
Yeah.
It goes.
You go ahead.
It goes, I failed again like I failed before. I fail each time that I try to score. I failed my father and his hopes as well. I failed myself, and for all I can tell, I'll continue to fail and go nowhere. I'll continue to drop balls when I juggle there. I'll always try and I'll fail again. I'll see success and failure when I plan to fail. I'll do nothing right. Or no, I'll do that right. A lifelong fuck up that can't sleep tight. Would it be such a waste if I gave up trying? Would that be a failure? What is relying on me? Nothing, and nobody cares. I pretend to be important when I'm not really there. I only know that which people don't see. I only see that which people won't be. Some kind of message that I want to give. Some kind of way that I want to live. Ah, shit. I must remove my head from my ass.
Wow, Robert. What can I say? Like, can I say that I've been there? This poem says a lot about me.
Comes from a bad place, though. It sounds like it comes from a bad place.
It comes from a bad place, but now that we look back, we can see why.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, Robert, is it okay if I cut that part and post it? Only the poem? And I'll send it to you as well. That's amazing, unbelievably amazing, because it can resonate with people. And when we go through that and we don't trust ourselves and we feel that we're rubbish and everything, and I've been there,
Yeah, and when I got to the very last line, I looked back at what I wrote, and I was just like, what the hell am I doing to myself? Am I stupid? Like, stop talking like this. And that's what I said. I must remove my head from my ass. Like, stop doing this to yourself, And I wrote that.
Sometimes it's the way we talk to ourselves.
Yeah, and I was
being a lot.
And I thought I was being clever about my situation. Really, I was like, I'm really just, I'm playing the harp here. I'm playing a violin for myself. Like, stop feeling sorry for yourself. Is how I felt, So anyway, I wrote that like probably about 12 years ago.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I go back to my stuff and read, and it's funny because I've been through a lot of shit as well. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Okay, I'm stuck on the unbelievable now. Unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Everybody.
Yeah, Jane, I can hear you. Press talk. We'll see if Jane can hear you.
Hello? I don't know.
You cannot hear him? Well, I don't know, guys.
Oh.
Maybe you and maybe Press and Jane are not supposed to talk today.
It's okay.
The gods
I
have
don't know, is she
spoken.
there? She's not saying anything.
The Google gods have spoken.
I can hear her. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I can hear her now.
I can't hear her at all.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, well.
Oh. Okay. Well. Press.
I'm gonna
It's
try
all
to come in and
good.
come back in.
Press
Come out and come back in again.
Right.
All right.
I'm gonna go get my old stuff to see if I find anything to read.
Yota. He's gone. What work is it you did anyway, Robert?
I pretty much have done just about everything. Right now, I'm kind of in construction. I'm trying to get out of construction and get into doing media and design, but it's a lot. It's a tough game to get back into because I've been out of it for so long. I used to have my own website design company back in 2000 to 2005, but ended up going freelance. Then I kind of had a couple rocky years. Was on the street for a while, and then came out, moved to BC, British Columbia, that is, and got into construction work. And well, now I'm trying to get back into it, but it's a hard gig to get back into, especially when you know I don't have any of the old clients that I used to have, so it's really hard to get references again. And it's just like I said, it's a tough gig to get back into. That's why I'm trying to create a body of work, and doing all these other media projects for myself. I can create this body of work, but it takes time too.
Hello?
Yeah. Hello, Jane.
Hey, Jane.
Sorry, I don't think tonight's the night.
Can you hear
Can
me? Hello.
I don't think you can hear me.
Can you hear Press, Jane?
No, I can't hear him either. I think it's just, I think it's something wrong with my computer or something. I don't know.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry. Press
I'll
doesn't
just log
say
out,
anything.
but maybe next time I'll come back on.
Press doesn't say anything interesting anyway. Just joking.
What if I get my computer fixed? Is Yota? Can Yota hear me?
Yeah, she just gone to get something. Where are you, Jane? Anyway.
Oh, where am I? You mean like where do I live?
Yeah, as in which city or town or whatever or area.
Oh yeah, I'm from San Jose, California.
Where?
San Jose, California.
Oh, my girlfriend lives in California, San Diego.
Oh yeah, it's really nice down there. Oh man, the sand and the sand in the beaches is like really soft. But up here in the Northern California, the sand is like really. It's kind of dangerous walking around.
So you're up San Francisco way then, that way of California, yeah?
Yeah, I'm in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys,
Can
do you want me?
on the channel hear me? Or
Guys, do you want me to read something from my diary from back? Can you hear me?
yeah, but
I can hear Yota. Yeah, Yota.
Jane, can you hear me?
Oh, if anything, yeah, I don't think everybody else can hear me, but just yeah, I'll log back out. I'll just.
We can hear you, Jane.
Okay, she's out. Guys, do you want me to read something from a diary in when I wrote it 17th of May 2012?
Cool.
Yeah.
I have look, I haven't read it, so I just picked this part because it's in English. I write in Greek as well, and I'm just gonna read it without knowing what the fuck I'm about to tell you. Okay? Are you ready? Hello?
Okay.
We're listening.
Okay. So, what's wrong with my life? What's missing from my life? How have I started and where am I ending up? What's my next move? What are my dreams? Why am I again in a situation of idleness? So after a crazy road where I used to live with name there, and hated it, and had no job, and getting stressed about the fucking course. I go into jobs, work hard, play harder. Madame Geisha was a job, but obviously wasn't getting me anywhere money-wise. So I had to take the opportunity to get another job as my time of living in other people's houses was running out, and that's why I did. So I go into the casino full of energy, full of creative ideas. I used to work at a casino, guys.
Oh, right.
And 8 months down the line, I'm here sitting in my room trying to figure out what's wrong, what's missing, and why am I so miserable. Lying on my bed, the only motivation I have is to sleep, but I won't sleep. I don't want to sleep. I want to figure out things. My mind is not healthy, and I know it. I cannot concentrate, and my everyday life is just waiting and waiting. Waiting for what? Waiting for what? Now at this period, if I feel trapped, I feel like I can do nothing, I'm just constantly lying to myself and waiting for the IUFOS, for the IUFOS is what in Greek, you know, in the church they give you the light. IUFOS will get you nowhere. You gotta take the chances, take decisions, and go with them. As simple as that. My family is putting pressure on me as always, and I'm tired of giving that as an excuse. Or maybe it's just me. Sorry, I meant putting pressure to myself, which is probably very true. I'm such a difficult person from one point of view. I mean, my brain could get messed up easily. I need people around me, and people around me that care about me and love me. Someone's messaging and I can hear all the beeps.
Sorry.
Okay. So take situations where I was working all the time and lived in someone's house where I really enjoyed it, or when I was at uni and I made friends with my friends, or even maybe when I used to live with blah 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 and blah blah.
No.
My house now is good. I don't hang out with my house. This must be from another day. My house now is good, but I don't hang out with my housemates, and that part I didn't even try. I'm looking myself in my own little world again, and when you don't have a family at home, that's not a home. I don't feel much. I don't really get excited, and I don't like my job. My job that is the only thing I do gives me some money, but it's still not enough. I'm not a person that gets cozy or relaxed or comfortable somewhere that I don't like. I have completed a survey for BBC about how competitive I am, and it turns out when I'm excited, I'm quite competitive. So I need motivation. I need to motivate myself, and in order to motivate myself, I need to get myself excited. So this was me 2 years ago, guys.
Sounds like you're unhappy.
No, I wasn't happy. Yeah, I wasn't happy, but it's very good to look at the journey and see how I got from there, from that kind of thinking to this kind of thinking, and it's unbelievable. And I've never shared anything from my diary with anyone. And you're the first people and the whole YouTube.
You still do it. You still do your diary now.
that
I'm honored. I'm actually honored.
You still do your diary now.
Yeah, and I feel you, Robert. I feel every single word that you said, you know, about what you wrote, because we've been through this stuff, man. We've been through this stuff.
Yeah, and you know, like, you know, I have to say, like,
we didn't just wake up one day and we were like, okay, let's do shows and let's do that and let's be happy. No, we've been through some shit, man,
Yeah,
And I'm
totally.
sorry, I'm talking like I'm swearing today, and I'm saying shit and all that kind of stuff, but it really goes with the subject. Really goes with the subject.
Yoda, Yoda, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yoda?
yeah, I can hear you now.
Can I uplift it a little with two of my own poems, so I can
Of
uplift
course.
it?
Yeah,
Oh, I'd
yeah,
love to hear it,
uplift
man.
it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right, these are love poems. So the first one it's a non-rhyming poem, and the second one's a rhyming poem. Yeah, they're two short ones, but I like to read them, and especially when try to uplift things a little. All right,
Yeah.
are you listening?
Yeah, I'm listening.
The first one is called The Pilgrimage of My Heart. So basically, think of sometimes you have to carry your heart a long way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You were finding my Venus, finding my heart buried in the depths of darkness, enveloped by shadows of forsaken enchantment. 'Twas a pilgrimage of my core, through the enchanted forest of rapture, along a flower-bordered path, delicately sprinkled with ardor-scented rose petals from the bouquet of your passionate soul. Such a crusade of devotion to the promised land had ever caressed my heart, chaperoned to the lighthouse of Amour, cosseted and nestled to your golden bosom, raised tenderly with zeal to the highest tour, held in eager arms to the sun god, finding its incandescent catalyst drenched by the fuel from the lantern of your quintessence. You became my Aphrodite, butterfly queen, reigning forever on the throne of my heart. That's
Cool.
the first one.
Wow. Wow.
I see how you get
That's
the girls.
that's beautiful.
Mhm.
Do you have one more?
Yeah, one more. This one's a rhyming one that was done like for Valentine's. So it's if you listen to this one, it's called
Yeah.
Valentine's Concerto of Love. Valentine's here, the day of romance. I celebrate the times you made my heart dance. Flowers and bouquets can play their part, but my gift to you is my tender heart. 'Tis forged in fires of passion from high above, its incandescent fuel our everlasting love. A myrrh that built inside me like a raging vibrato, seduced by such inner beauty, your eternal innamorato. I pledge my soul, whispering a sweet cantata, the light of my life, my precious inamorata, yearning to cosset and nestle you in utopian bliss, to release your pain with a soft, gentle kiss. You are forever and ever the apple of my eye, and I will live and breathe you till the day I die.
Wow. I'm gonna cry.
That's really cool too.
Wow. Thank you guys. This is absolutely amazing to be able to be here and share all this with you guys and you guys to share with me. It's absolutely beautiful and absolutely amazing. I cannot even explain how I feel right now. I love it.
And do you know the funny thing is? The funny thing is, it's exactly 8 years to the day since I met her.
Oh, wow.
Online, of course, not in real.
I got a song, well, not really a song. It's a rhyming poem for the most part. It was back in the day when I was feeling really lonely.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna I'm just gonna read it. It's a little bit long-winded, so I pray that you will listen.
Yeah, we
But
will.
it reads quick though, because it does rhyme and it's got some rhythm. It goes, I've come to the point where I need a companion, someone to talk to, someone to stand in for when I'm not strong or perhaps feeling wicked. Sometimes I feel like my life's too explicit. Who in their right mind would settle for me when all at the same time I sure as hell wouldn't see? But that's okay because I like me just fine. It just means I'll wait longer to find love divine. I've been piecing together what once fell apart. I've been living and I've learned and I found my fresh start. I need someone like me who can live and love life. I don't need security and I don't need a wife. I don't need anyone to try to define me, but those are the people that always find me. But I need someone to share all of my thoughts, someone with no concern for the things that I've got, someone who loves the planet more than they love me, someone who loves love more than they love greed. I want someone attractive with a glow from inside and intelligent as well, and who can also confide in me and my ways with no intent to cause change, but with the ability to promote progress in the wide range of one's own functions and ways to proceed about daily's life and to compensate need. Is it too much to ask to find someone who's kind? It's worth waiting for, and for that I won't mind, because at the end I will meet, in the end I will meet my soulmate. I'll know in a second, not a second too late.
Oh my God. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I love the last part. I love the last part where it says, I will meet my soulmate. I will know it a second, but not a second too late. Yeah. That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. Oh my God.
That's nice, nice, Robert.
I'm gonna start kissing my hands. Where is my baby?
I'm slowly over the next couple of months I'll be putting together like an audio album of all of these, because if you haven't noticed, I've been slowly putting out videos, and I'm going to be doing a few of these and putting them all together into one stream.
I have so many subscribers that every time I go on YouTube and I click on my subscribers, there's 100 videos. I go through them and check, like, where can I find them, your videos, guys, because I would like to put priorities. If it was from me, I would put, like, my friends, like, Prezi, Robert, Geeks, all the Fuck You Google Plus, Be Smiley, shouting out to all of you guys. Influence, oh my God, I'm gonna forget so many. Ion, oh my God, Wolfie. I feel bad now because I'm sure I forgot someone. Anyways,
don't go down that road, hon. Don't go down that road because you'll always forget somebody.
yeah, exactly. Sam comes, Ryan.
I like to say, hey, yous.
Yeah. So all of these guys and a lot more, because and the girls, all the girls. I'm not gonna start saying names because I know I'm gonna forget people, and it's not good. I would like to put them as like close friends, as you do on Facebook, or priority videos, and because I miss a lot of videos from you guys.
Yeah, I just want to say that I was listening to you guys do your poems, and they were really, really good. They were very moving, and I don't really have any poetic well, I just never tried, but those were stellar.
Thanks.
What is stellar?
Really, really good.
Beer.
Thank you, Prezi. Did you hear my diary as well?
Yes, I did. Yeah, that was very interesting as well. That was awesome.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see how I was thinking and how I'm thinking now. It's unbelievable for me.
It's weird, when you it's like jumping in a time machine, emotionally. It's like stepping back to the day that you wrote that. I do it with this book, and this book is falling apart. That's why I got to turn everything into audio, because I don't even think the paper's going to turn into dust soon.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, it's weird, because you could have wrote it 15 years ago. Some of the things actually have relevance today, and now, and some of it is like going into a time machine and going back to when you were in that headspace, back in those days. It's bizarre.
It was poetic justice.
Sorry, Eric, I didn't catch that.
I said it was poetic justice.
Yeah, sometimes. But it also, it's a way to evaluate where your mindset was, and where did you go from there? It's almost like a way to keep score, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because what's remarkable about it, as y'all beginning to speak, I began to see my life experience in it, through your words. And it was like all of the poems I could relate to it personally. Like, it was real inspiring.
Mm.
I saw myself.
Well, that means that you're a human being and you have empathy, and that's a good sign. That's cool, man.
Good start.
Yeah. I mean, I used to, I don't know. I haven't written poetry much lately. I have to be honest, but I've done a lot of recollecting and going back to the things that I have written and put, like, to breathe new life into it, and it's that in itself has inspired me to start making new material, though, because I am doing other writing and newer projects and stuff. So it's it's weird. It's like revisiting your old self kind of makes you realize, holy shit, I was doing stuff then, and I was like,
usually though, poetry comes from a place that you're at in life.
Yeah.
That's where it comes from. It comes from your heart because you're in that place, and that place brings words and feelings and emotion.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Yep, absolutely. And and looking back at it, retrospectively, almost reignites that creative sense, and and you almost like compare it to now, and it's I don't know. I'm finding it more inspiring to go back to my old stuff because it's inspiring me to do new stuff. And
like for instance, I've wrote a lot of love poetry. Yet on the other hand, when I've been down and upset and hurt, I've gone the other way and done like bad poems of like being in a thorn bush and cutting yourself through love and all that sort of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I always try to have like this ray of light kind of, like, even in my negative stuff. Like, I always threw in this like little dig at myself, like look on the bright side, dumbass. Like, stop stop pining.
Yeah. Guys, I'm gonna give you another 10-15 minutes and we close, because I always want to keep my videos short so other people knew, because people in truth community, they can hear long videos. People outside the truth community, they're not gonna sit there and listen to long videos, so I prefer to keep them short for that reason.
Cool.
But we can chat offline as well and all that kind of stuff.
No problem. I've got my lad here anyway. I've got to look after my lad.
Yeah, and also it's gonna be lunchtime for me soon, so I need to eat and cook and.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a break from this and actually work on some stuff here too myself. But I'll join you guys in a little bit off the air.
Okay, let's close it now then. Does anyone else want to add to something?
No, I'm all right. It's just nice to have met you all again, and I like these what you do, Yoda, because they're a bit more serious, a bit relaxed, and you can be yourself, and it's a nice way. And I think you're a lovely person, and thank you very much for letting me be part of it.
Thank you, Safety. The same goes for you. Pressy?
Yeah, I'll say, you're all just beautiful people for real, and all for you, and I'm sure many people listening as well. And Yoda, you shine brighter than the sun, girl.
Pressy.
You're a beam of awesomeness, I guess. Just love, hope, all that good stuff. So I see it shine through you. Like no other, really. So I just want to say that, and you're all awesome. So
Thank you, Pressy. You're very special to me too.
In closing, hang on. Let's see how fast I can find this. I got one I'm going to dedicate to you.
Yeah.
All right, Yoda. And it's very short. Very short. No, I didn't write it for her, but it's for people like her.
Mm.
And,
oh my God, guys, you're making me blush. Oh my God.
I gotta find it though. Hang on. Sometimes my recall skills. What page is it on?
Take your time.
Yeah, it's here. Hang on. Eric, would you like to say something while I look for this?
Yes, Yoda, I'm just glad to be here, glad to be your friend, glad to be a part of the family.
I'm glad that you're here, Eric.
You know, I'm so glad when I first met you and we was talking about your bad dreams and how I began to talk about my dreams and you begin to feel a little bit better. And then me and Papa got together. It was just, you have such a great spirit about you. It's like love at first sight or, or love
Oh
at
my
first
God.
listen.
Oh my God, you guys are making me blush. Oh,
You
All
just
right.
have,
All right.
I'm gonna hide behind my picture here.
All right, Yoda, this is for you, okay? The sun burns and she dances like a solo star of her own accord, tapping into the cosmos and the inner depths throughout. Sheer warmth envelops all reaches. Stars stand, and all but one stands unheard. She is the sun.
Beautiful.
Is it finished? Wow. Wow, guys. Thank you so much. I so appreciate and respect every single one of you. And I want to give a shout out to every single person that has been on the chat today. I love you all. And we should have another show in the middle of the week, Wednesday. It's going to be at a different time. So I don't know, maybe it's going to be morning for you there. I would like to give a shout out to Der Blinkster because he or she, I don't know what I think it's he. He was listening patiently, even if there's a lot of going on in the chat. And thank you guys, thank you so much. I cannot appreciate enough. And I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
Right,
Bye bye.
thank you for having me. Good night.
Bye.